Hello everyone, Gym Leader JJ here, and today we will be shiny hunting Gym Leader Falkner's team from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And before you even ask, you already know the better question. But in reality, my last Johto video did pretty good, and I thought it'd be fun if I were to shiny hunt all of the Johto Gym Leaders teams. So if this video does good, maybe I'll move on and shiny hunt Bugsy's team. So with that being said, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Alright, boring intro stuff's out of the way, let's get into our 6 shiny targets. Now, while I would just shiny hunt Falkner's Heart Gold and Soul Silver rematch team, there is a slight issue. 2 of his team members, Swellow and Pidgeot, are just straight up unobtainable in Scarlet and Violet. So we're gonna fill in some blanks. So our 6 targets are going to be Noctowl, Staraptor, Honchkrow, and Pelipper from his Heart Gold and Soul Silver rematch team, as well as Dodrio and Gliscor from his Pokemon Stadium 2 team. But of course, since Heart Gold and Soul Silver are Gen 4 games, we'll be evolving that Gliscor into a Gliscor. Alright, that's all I have to say for now. Enjoy the shinies. Okay, even though I'm not shiny hunting Falkner's team in any specific order, I almost immediately got an outbreak for not only my favorite regional bird Pokemon, but also Falkner's ace. And so, our first target of the video is Noctowl. Now, as I just mentioned, Noctowl is my favorite regional bird Pokemon, and thanks to the anime, Noctowl's shiny is pretty iconic. So let's not waste any more time and go ahead and get our first sandwich of the video going. And here's to our first shiny hunt of the video. Alright, we have our meal powers, now let's get going. Man, I still think it's crazy that I immediately get an outbreak for Falkner's ace. Like, what are the odds of that? Anyone else remember what happened last time I tried to shiny hunt Noctowl? Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be that lucky again. There's our first notification, and there's number 2, and there's our third and final notification. Alright, now let's just put up and put down our picnics until we find our shiny. That's time in the shiny hunt, and unfortunately, I did not find a shiny. So, sandwich number 2, yay! Yo! Sorry, I was drinking water. Shiny Hoot Hoot, let's go! Alright, back in the olden days, gym leaders would keep their Pokemon in just normal Pokeballs, so we're gonna do the same. Yeet the Pokeball. And that looks like a critical capture. I'm calling him Oster. And there's gonna be a nicknaming theme with these flying type Pokemon, so if you know, you know. We found that shiny Hoot Hoot at the very end of our second sandwich, but I'll run it out and see if I can find a second shiny. And that's time. I didn't find a second shiny, but let's check and see if Oster has a mark. Unfortunately, it seems that Oster does not have a mark. But now, it is evolution time. And all I needed was 1 rare candy. And now we've got Noctowl. Noctowl just has a really solid shiny overall, and of course, due to the anime, it is iconic. But wait, there's more. I thought it'd be fun for the video if we gave all 6 of Falkner's shiny team members somewhat competitive builds. And it's also totally not to draw out the length of the video. Anyways, to the store! To start off our build, we're gonna max out Oster's HP stat and its special attack. Then we're gonna put the remaining 4 EVs into special defense. We're gonna give it the Modest Nature and its hidden ability, Tinted Lens. As for its held item, I'm gonna give it the Agave Berry. As for his moveset, we're gonna go Air Slash, Psychic, Calm Mind, and Roost. Then we bring it up to level 100. Then lastly, we Hyper Train him to max out his IVs. This is our final product, and now to move on to our next team member. Okay, now I know I said previously that Noctowl was my favorite regional bird Pokemon, but in all honesty, I think it's tied with our next target, Staraptor. Staraptor's design is amazing, and it's a staple on any Johto playthrough. And it also has a really good shiny, so of course, I'm excited for this. So let's get our first sandwich, shall we? Here's to sandwich number 1 for Starly. Alright, we have our meal powers, and you know what we do from here. There's number 1, there's 2, and there's our third and final. Alright, now we reset our encounters. You know, come to think of it, I don't even think I have a shiny Staraptor. Okay, so we have an unforeseen inconvenience, and that is that Starly is a daytime only spawn. And a few times now, it's turned to nighttime in the middle of a sandwich, and so I've had to, like, mess around with my time and remake the sandwich. Wait a second, is that it? Shiny Starly, let's go! This is like my 3rd sandwich. The other 2 got interrupted by the daytime switch, like I mentioned earlier. Alright, it's Pokeball time. Yeet! And that wasn't critical. Well then. Oh, it has recoil. That's not nice. Okay, please stay, maybe. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. And there's our critical capture. I'm calling her Zephyros. We still got plenty of time in our sandwich, so I'm gonna see if I can find a second shiny. That's the end of our sandwich, and I'm surprised I didn't get interrupted again. Anyways, let's check and see if Zephyros has a mark. And unfortunately, it appears that Zephyros does not have a mark. And now, it is evolution time. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Starly's shiny is not that good. It's barely noticeable from its normal colors. Anyways, we got Staravia, and again, that shiny is barely noticeable. Fortunately, we got one more evolution left. And with one more rare candy, we got Staraptor, and this shiny is amazing. And again, I love Staraptor's design. It just looks so cool. And of course, you know we're not done yet. For Staraptor, we're gonna start off by maxing out its physical attack and its speed, and its remaining EVs will go into special defense. For our held item, we're gonna go with the Choice Scarf. We're gonna give it the Adamant Nature. For its moveset, we're gonna go with Brave Bird, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Double Edge. And of course, we'll bring it to level 100. And lastly, we're gonna Hyper Train to max out her IVs. We're not gonna change her ability because Intimidate's already pretty good. And here's our final product. And now let's move on to our third target of Falkner's shiny team. The next team member on our list is a Pokemon that I don't really like, I don't really dislike, I'm pretty just neutral towards it. And that Pokemon is Honchkrow. And even though I don't like Honchkrow that much, even I'll admit that its design and its shiny are both amazing. So let's not waste any more time. Alright, here's to Murkrow. We got our meal powers, now let's go. Now, Honchkrow is another one of those Pokemon where I don't believe I actually have its shiny. There's our first notification, there's number 2, and there's our third and final notification. Well, let's reset our encounters. Yo! Shiny Murkrow! Even Murkrow has a pretty solid shiny. The pinkish purple looks amazing on it. Anyways, Pokeball. Yeet. And that didn't look like it critical. Okay, come on now. Maybe this one? Oh! There's our critical capture! I'm calling this one Gale. We still got a little bit of time left, so I'm gonna see if we can find another shiny Murkrow. And that's it for the sandwich. Let's check and see if Gale is marked. And unfortunately, Gale is not marked. But now, we can evolve him. And all you need to evolve Murkrow is one Duskstone. And now we've got Honchkrow. Man, as I said earlier, Honchkrow's design is so cool. And that bright pink shiny looks pretty good too. But of course, say it with me, we're not done yet. We'll start off Gale's build by maxing out his attack stat and his speed stat, with the last 4 EVs going into his defense. As for his held item, we're gonna give him the Choice Band. Let's change his nature to Jolly. Let's give him Moxie. We're gonna bring him to level 100. And for his moveset, we're gonna go Night Slash, Sucker Punch, U-Turn, and Brave Bird. And to finish up his build, we're gonna max out his IVs with some hyper training. Here's the final build, and let's move on to our next shiny team member. Our next target, Dodrio, is kind of in the same boat as Honchkrow, where I don't really like it, I don't dislike it. Again, I'm pretty neutral towards it. To be real, the only thing I can really say about Dodrio is that I think its design is really cool, and it has a pretty solid shiny. So let's get our first sandwich going, shall we? And here's our first sandwich for Doduo. Alright, let's get going. There's our first notification. There's 2. Doduo's constant running makes it so difficult to go through this outbreak. And there's our third and final notification. Alright, let's reset our encounters. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever actually used a Dodrio on a team before. Yo! Look at that! Shiny Doduo! Pretty sure I'm at like the very end of my sandwich here. Yeet! And that's end critical. Oh? Oh? Okay, I'll take it! Didn't even need a critical capture. I'm calling her Orochi. Yep, as I said earlier, we're at the very end of our sandwich, but I'll keep looking and see if I can find another shiny. We didn't have a lot of time left, so I didn't expect to find another shiny, but let's check and see if Orochi has a mark. Orochi has a mark! The lunchtime mark, Orochi the Peckish. Peckish, it's a bird. I'm funny. Poor jokes aside, it is now time to evolve Orochi. And all I needed was one rare candy. To get Dodrio. Yeah, I really do like Dodrio's design. I think like the three-headed bird thing is kind of cool. And as far as green shinies go, this one's not too bad. I know people usually hate green shinies a lot. But of course, you know the deal by now. We're not done yet. We're gonna start off Oroshi's build by maxing out her attack stat and her speed stat. The remaining 4 EVs going into special defense. Next up, we're gonna change her nature to Jolly. We're gonna give her the Focus Sash item. We're gonna change her ability from Runaway to Early Bird. Of course, we're gonna bring her to level 100. As for her moveset, we're gonna go Brave Bird, Knockoff, Swords Dance, and Thrash. And to finish up her build, we're gonna do some hyper training to max out her IVs. Here's our build, and now we move on to the 5th member of Falkner's shiny team. Okay, our next target, Pelipper, is the one I've been a little worried about, because Wingull, Pelipper's pre-evolution's shiny, is pretty subtle. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Boom! The only thing that changes is the blue on its wings going to green, and Wingull isn't exactly a big Pokemon, which makes the change a little bit harder to notice in game. Now, as for Pelipper, I've grown really fond of it because it's so much fun to use on rain teams. Its ability Drizzle sets up rain as soon as it enters battle, and, you know, you can fire off 100% accurate hurricanes, or you can do the smarter thing and use U-turn to get it out of there so you can send in a Swift Swimmer. As I just mentioned, I love Pelipper a lot, so let's get our first sandwich going. Alright, here's our first sandwich, and I really hope I don't fail this. We got our powers, now let's get a move on. Now, the Wingull do love to fly around a lot, so I'm using Oster, who also flies, to help me out with this outbreak. There's our first notification. There's our second notification, and there's our third and final notification. Alright, now we reset our encounters and hope I don't miss the shiny. Wait a second, is that it? Shiny Wingull, let's go! I noticed that immediately! Alright. Yeet the Pokeball. It's level 2, yeah, there's the critical capture. Let's go! I'm calling her Steam. And we still got 10 minutes left, so you know how we do things. We're gonna see if we can find another shiny. Man, I'm still surprised I noticed that as fast as I did. It was a little bit easier to tell because it was nighttime. Time's up on our sandwich. Now let's check and see if Storm has a mark. Unfortunately, it looks like Steam is not marked. But on the bright side, it is in fact evolution time. And with some EXP candies, we got Pelipper. The green on Pelipper is far more noticeable than the green on Wingull. And it doesn't look too bad for a green shiny. Its shiny is solid, and it's a silly toilet burb. What's not to love? And of course, you should know by now, we're not done yet. We're gonna start off Steam's build by maxing out her HP stat, as well as her defense stat. We're gonna put the remaining 4 EVs into her special defense. We're gonna give her the Damp Rock as her held item. We're gonna use an ability capsule to change her ability to Drizzle. We're gonna change her nature to Bold. As for her moveset, we're gonna go Hydro Pump, Hurricane, Tailwind, and Roost. We're gonna bring her to level 100, and to finish up, we're gonna hyper train her stats to max out the IVs. Here's the build, and now let's move on to our 6th and final team member of Falkner's shiny team. So, slight issue with our final target, Gliscor. It and its pre-evolution Gligar are exclusive to Scarlet and cannot be found in Violet. And while I could spend hours Masuda breeding a Gligar, that sounds so very boring. But not to worry, I came up with another idea that sounds a lot more fun. And all I have to do is jump into the scary abyss below, yep, we're hunting for Gligar in Pokemon Legends. Now, I don't believe I've played Pokemon Legends since my 100 subscriber special, so it's been a minute, and we don't have an outbreak in the place that Gligar spawns. Well, let's just reset our outbreaks. There we go, that took way too long, but we finally got an outbreak in the Coronet Highlands, which is where Gligar can spawn. We have a whole bunch of outbreaks to check, but we can hand over 5 berries to Munchlax here and reveal all of them. And none of them are for Gligar. Back to outbreak resetting I go. There we go, we got another one. Hey, we got 2 Gligar outbreaks, and I think this one should evolve into a Gliscor outbreak after I go through it. So let's start with this one. All right, let's go. It's been a minute, so I might not remember all of this. There we go. A new horde seems to have formed. And now we got Gliscor. Okay, nothing in that outbreak. And that's an Alpha Gliscor. I definitely meant to hit the Alpha. Ow. Alright, it's Alpha time. Alright, nothing in that outbreak either. Let's continue to reset outbreaks. Yo! Shiny Gligar, let's go! Alright, I'm gonna save real quick. There we go, look at this thing. The blue looks amazing. Backstrike. Please stay. Let's go! The last Gligar in the outbreak. Alright, let's send him out. What's up? But yeah, Gligar probably has one of the best blue shinies just in general. That and I just really love Gligar. It's so adorable. It's evolution time, and fortunately I got a Razor Fang during the outbreak. Now we've got Gliscor. Again, an amazing shiny, and the yellow just makes it look even better. Now that I think more about it, I think Gliscor just might be my favorite Pokemon on this team. Its design is awesome. I'm calling her Gladius. We made it back to the present, and now it's time for our final build. Starting us off, we're going to max out Gliscor's HP stat and her defense stat, with the remaining EVs going into special defense. As for her held item, we're going to go with the Toxic Orb. And to pair with the Toxic Orb, we're going to give her Poison Heal as her ability. As for her moveset, we're going to go with Spikes, Earthquake, Toxic, and Knockoff. Her nature's already impish, so there's no need to change it. And of course, let's bring her to level 100. And to wrap up the build, we're going to max out her IVs with some Hyper Training. Here's our build, and all that's left to do now is the outro. Take it away, me. Okay, I had a lot of fun with this, and if you want to see me shiny hunt the rest of the Johto Gym Leaders, make sure you let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and if you do subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!